this is APC Guy, and today we're going to be unboxing and showing the couple of deals that I did get on this Black Friday. It was not as much as I hoped. It was about as much as I expected, considering the things I was looking for were mostly very recent and higher end components, so you can never really expect a lot to be on sale, but it was better than I expected. So I'll let you guys see what I got, and now we'll unbox them for you guys. Now, the first thing that I did manage to get my hands on was M2 SSD, in this case Samsung 970 EVO. There is also a Pro version, but it is a lot more expensive for not very noticeable benefit. These are basically storage drives like SSDs, hard drives, but they offer a much higher speed than your normal hard drive or SSD. Even SSDs are very fast. This is even faster by a noticeable margin. It does require a different connection than your normal SSD. This plugs directly into the motherboard through this connector here, as you can see. And there are two types of M2 SSDs. They're the SATA SSDs that are supported by most motherboards, and they are the NVMe SSDs, which require motherboards that do have drivers for it and that support them natively. So this is an NVMe SSD. My current motherboard does not support it, but I am planning to upgrade in the future, as I will explain in a bit. So this is more an upgrade in the future. So let's see exactly what you can expect when you buy a product like this. This is a Samsung one. It's quite nicely packaged. So this would be it. It is basically a little, it is a very thin, very small little stick. It's almost like a bigger flash drive, let's say, because that's basically what this technology boils down to. Uh, it connects to this little connector at the end to your motherboard. And again, like I said, your motherboard needs to support this media transfer standard. There are a few papers here in the back, warranty, that sort of thing, so that's not very interesting to show off in an unboxing video. To give you an idea about the effective speed of these SSDs, let's compare the SSD that I just got to another SSD that's been in the market for a while. This is a generic SSD that just plugs in through a SATA cable. Now, as you can see, this already tells you a lot. And keep in mind that SSD is already much faster than hard drives, so this is a major improvement over something that's already really fast. So as you can see in most of the comparisons, it's like 300% faster, 300% faster, 60 something percent, 40 something percent. It's quite sizable of an increase for such price difference, because as you can see it's a 40 € difference, which for an enthusiast build is next to nothing of a difference for such a performance upgrade. Now, if you are on a budget, I would tell you just get an SSD. You won't notice much of a difference if you get a normal, like an 860 EVO SSD kind of thing. But in this case, if you want something very, very higher end, then this is what I would advise, an NVMe M2 SSD. Again, make sure that your motherboard does support this kind of SSD, otherwise you might not be able to boot from this SSD if you install Windows on it, or you might not be able to access it at all. I also cannot show you how to connect it yet, because as I said, I don't have the motherboard that supports it yet. So let's move on to the next product. And this is something that actually shocked me, and well, I was a bit surprised, but after a bit of research, apparently that's the standard for this type of product, which is the packaging that it comes in. Just a normal standard paper packaging, not sturdy at all, not very safe if you ask me, if it's not handled with care. But in any case, it is a CPU, it's an i7-9700k, so it's reasonably high end. It's not the highest of the highest with the 9900k, and this is how it came in. I found a really nice deal for it. I ordered it from a pretty good shop. It's a very known shop. I'm not going to advertise, but it's a shop that's very well regarded in the PC enthusiast community. It was a nice deal that I did not expect to find so close to the release of this generation of CPUs, but I did get my hands on one. It arrived quickly, but like I said, it arrived into this paper package with yeah, air bubbles in it, and that was it. Now, there's one thing that you should know about processors if you don't yet. When you buy a processor, you have two different types of box, let's say. You have the boxed version, which is a bit more expensive and comes in a nice little neat box from the manufacturer, like Intel, blah blah blah. Comes with a cooler, and all of the papers, and all that sort of stuff. And that's the variant that is meant for general consumer purchase, for individual people to buy, let's say. And then you have the tray version, which does not come with a cooler. Uh, Usually does not come with a warranty from Intel. It comes with a warranty from the shop that you buy it. This, in my case, it was a 1 year warranty. And as I said, it's called a tray version for a reason, because they actually get them in trays of dozens of CPUs or hundreds or whatever, and it's meant for companies, servers, you name it. It's a bulk version, which ends up being cheaper to buy and for the shops, and in turn cheaper for us to consumers to buy from shops that do offer the possibility of getting it like that. The disadvantage, it does not come boxed neatly and safely like the others do. It does not come with a cooler. In my case, I have a liquid cooler, so I don't necessarily need a cooler to begin with. But the price difference is not enormous, and you would think that they would be able to afford to ship it out to the consumers in a bit of a safer and more sturdy cooling. Now, apparently this is the standard for such purchases. They all come like that. And it does have a 1 year warranty, so if there's a problem, you can always get it replaced if it was damaged in the shipping or something. So at least you have that covered. But it's a bit, nerve-wracking to see a high-end CPU like this being shipped, and I will show you this little boxy cardboard again was in the paper bag, and now you open it up, and you have this little piece of foam in there, and there you have it, your CPU lying on the piece of foam with, I will carefully grab it by the corners, with the very fragile golden connectors just lying on another piece of foam in a cardboard box, uh, kind of loose in there, inside of a paper box, being shipped from a different country throughout, I don't know, another 2 or 3 different countries, just being shipped in a van, in a paper box, in a cardboard box with a little bit of foam around. Not very sturdy, does not inspire a lot of confidence. Probably people are gonna think like, what are you complaining about? That's how all tray CPUs are shipped, or most of them anyway. But my point is, they get these CPUs in bulk, they get a good deal on them in terms of the price that they get, and they could afford maybe a little bit of a sturdier, more safe packaging where the CPU is actually secured in, like, plastic, just cheap plastic, whatever. Um, that's just my thought. I was expecting a bit more from the packaging. Now comparing the processor with some other processors, this is the best comparison that you can probably find. I was torn between these two on which one I was going to get, but since I found a deal on this one, I went for that one. Now, it's not a massive difference, but again, I found a good deal. So as you can see, it is a bit of an improvement over the previous generation processor. Not an enormous difference. And if you do not find them on sale and are planning on buying one, just go with the 8700, because it is perfectly fine and it will be still serving you well for years to come. But if you do find a nice sale, then again, why not go for the i7-9700k? If you want the best of the best, the one you will be looking for is the i9 900 9900k, which is a lot more expensive for not a lot of performance. This is on the Intel side of things. On the AMD side of things, you do have very good Threadripper cores, processors, but you do need a motherboard specifically for that manufacturer, and those motherboards are more expensive as well. And so yeah, you are a bit. If you're going for Intel, you have to go for an Intel motherboard. If you're going for AMD, you have to go for an AMD motherboard. So you're kind of locking yourself into a manufacturer, but it's your decision. Personally, I am more on the camp for Intel. Uh, Although I do know a lot of people swear by AMD products, so it's up to you. It's your choice and your decision. They're both great. It's a matter of personal preference, and each generation sometimes Intel has the upper hand, sometimes the other one has the upper hand. Lately it has been Intel, but it looks like things might be changing. It's up to you completely. Now, comparing this CPU to the one I had before, now there you will find a very, very big difference because yeah, my CPU is was quite old, as you can see, and yeah, 76% increase, 100 and something percent average benchmark performance. So yeah, a lot more cores, a lot more base frequency, a lot more turbo frequency. It's better in every way. It's going to be a massive, massive upgrade. It's not even funny. So yeah, I'm probably going to notice it. Now I just need to find the motherboard for it. Anyway, I also cannot put it in yet. I do not have a motherboard that supports the socket, and which I will be shopping for in the next few weeks. Hopefully, I'll be having one by the time Christmas hits. Maybe I'll even get some Christmas sale on it, who knows. But I have my eye on a few ones, although there are some technical issues with those motherboards that need to be addressed and need to be explained and a bit researched before I commit to buying one. So yeah, I will have to keep an eye on that, and I might actually make a video on those issues and if there's any ground to it or not, but I have to research it a bit further. So those are my Black Friday deals. I am happy with the price I paid for these parts. Uh, just the packaging caught me up a bit off guard, but this was it. Hopefully, you guys got a few good deals yourselves. And when I finally do get that motherboard that I'm missing, and I am able to plug in these components, I'll make a little video showing how to plug them in, because that's something I also need to do, a video on how to put together an actual build and put in the CPU, put in the RAM and the connectors and all that stuff. So that's going to be material for next time. In the meantime, hope you guys had some good deals, enjoy them, and I will see you next time.